I love you, Allah.
Even if you are sick, you pray it as you are. Even if you're a traveler, there is a special salat for you. Even if you're in fee, there is a special salat, salatul khawf. It does not drop in any kind of circumstance. Aqim as-salat. Subhanallah, this is the advice of the prophets for their sons as well. And if you looked at the case of Ibrahim alayhi salam, what an incredible prophet he was. He receives a commandment and an order from Allah to leave his children in the desert and to go off to Palestine. Where are they? They're in Mecca. There is no living being there. There's no animals there. There's no vegetation there. It's a hot, dry desert. And he's leaving his wife and his son, the baby Ismail, in this kind of environment. As he walks out of Mecca, going towards Palestine, he makes a dua and he says, Rabbi, inni askantu min dhurriyati biwadin ghayri dhi zar'in inda baytika al-muharram. He says, oh Allah, I have left my family, dhurriyati, my generation, I have left them. Where? Biwadin, in a valley, in a place, in a valley where there is absolute no vegetation. So what's the first dua he makes? He says, Rabbana, liyuqimu as-salah. Oh Allah, allow them to be from those who establish as-salat. Then after that he says, وَرْزُقْهُمْ مِنَ الثَّمَرَاتِ. Provide for them some provision so they can eat and drink. That wasn't his first dua for his family. He didn't then say, oh Allah, provide for them. Oh Allah, feed them. That wasn't the first dua. The first one, رَبَّنَا لِيُقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةِ. Oh Allah, allow them to establish this salat. Because if that's the case, a rizq is going to come. Provision will come. Al-fath will come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You don't have to worry about that. When Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam himself was no different. When Allah Azza wa Jal commanded to him, he said to him, and enjoin, encourage, advise your family and be patient concerning your advice and commandment to them of as-salat. We do not ask you for any provision. You don't have to provide for anyone. نحن نرزقك. Allah will give a rizq. In other words, as-salat is one of the main reasons for why one earns his rizq. How does it make sense now when one goes to work? Or some of us are not here for Salat al-Jum'ah. Why? Because we're at work. Allah Azza wa Jalla is saying to you, as-salat is the reason for your source of provision. And that you've turned the meanings upside down for those that don't attend their Salat al-Jum'ah and those that try to bunch up all the salawat at the end of the day. You made it like your rizq was your work and as-salat had nothing to do with that. A natural consequence, a natural result of as-salat is that you'll be from among those who enjoin the good and forbid the evil. That's a natural consequence of as-salat. You'll begin to speak the good and you'll begin to forbid against the evil. Yani an example of this. You finish your Salat al-Jum'ah. You go back to work and you find someone backbiting some other Muslim brother. And you say to him, Akhi ittaqillah, this is haram. We cannot backbite someone when he's not among us. So he says to you, brother, you've changed. You weren't like that before. You used to backbite with us. What happened to you? Your answer is simple, one word. And because I pray. Because I pray. And the prayer itself, it pushes me to the state that I'm in. And that is that I have to stand for that which is wrong against it. And I have to speak for that which is right. وَأْمُرْ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَانْهَى عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ. Yani وَأْمُرْ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَانْهَى عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ is basically establish justice in your life. You've prayed. And your salat has allowed you to enjoin the good and forbid the evil. But you know when you do that, when you stand for justice, when you speak words of truth and words of justice, naturally people don't like it. وَاصْبِرْ عَلَى مَا أَصَابَكَ. Subhanallah. Remain patient over anything that beflicts you. مَا أَصَابَكَ, yani as big as the insult is, as small as the insult is, remain patient in its face. Subhanallah, this is the life of a Muslim.